everyone. Welcome in. Happy Thursday. Thanks so much for being with us today. My name is Kathleen Kuo, and I am a program manager with Nevada Humanities, which is our state's council partner of the National Endowment for the Humanities. With Humanities at Play, our goal is to pair gameplay and other interactive activities with thoughtful discussions about the humanities and how they enrich our everyday lives. So a couple quick notes before we get started today. If you're a first-time Twitch user, welcome in. Thanks so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate you. If you are not logged into Twitch and you would like to participate, I highly encourage you to make a free Twitch account and follow us. And that way, if you have any questions or comments as we play today's game, if you want to ask our guest about pirates or what's going on, that way you can type into our chat. Finally, if you are a newer user of Twitch, we have a very fun feature called a chat command, which is an exclamation point followed by a keyword. So we have a list of commands that you're welcome to try out in chat, and they're listed in the About section in our Twitch channel, but also you might see a couple in the title of our stream today. So today, I am so excited to be joined by returning guest. He was not scared off by his first time streaming with us, Christopher M. Church. So last time Chris was on Humanities at Play, we played the Black Death scenario from Civilization 6, and you can find that recording on our YouTube channel if you missed it. But for those of you who might be meeting us for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and read his bio. So Christopher M. Church is Associate Professor of History and a Director of Graduate Studies at the University of Nevada, Reno, where he teaches colonial, environmental, and digital history. Specializing in disasters, collective action, and civil unrest, his wider research agenda addresses the historical relationship between citizens, the public sphere, and the state. He's the author of Paradise Destroyed, Catastrophe and Citizenship, and A French Caribbean, which won the Alf Andrew Heggoy Book Prize in 2018. So, Chris, welcome again. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. Thank you for having me back. It's great to be back, Kathleen, and welcome everyone in the chat. I'm excited about playing some Sid Meier's Pirates, the reboot, and talking about pirates and gold and yard.
Yeah, so this was actually even, I believe this was your suggestion. There are a million games we could play, which I love, but this was sort of your idea. And so you kind of grew up playing this. Would you mind sort of sharing your background with this game? Is this a game that got you into pirates, or is this just something that you just grew up with?
It's hard to tell. I don't know if I can. There's a lot of, when I look backward, I can see the signs of what I was going to ultimately be interested in as a researcher, but I don't know if it necessarily pushed me. I'm hesitant to say it was a cause, but it was definitely indicative of a trajectory that I was on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I started playing this on an old 286. Well, it wasn't old at the time; it was brand new at the time, but by today's standards, very, very old. I think you had to add in extended RAM in order to even load the game. It was monochromatic. I think your choices were white on black or green on black. And then a few years later, they rebooted it with color, which was incredibly exciting. And then after that, while I was in college, they re-released the version we're going to play today, which was in the third dimension, which was, because the original was kind of this faux 3D isometric top-down view for the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything was in kind of two-dimensional stick figures, really. If you're unfamiliar with old games from the late 80s and very early 90s, if you've ever played the original Oregon Trail, that caliber of graphics.
Yeah, so this is very different. As you said, we're now in the 3D realm. Well, as 3D as you can kind of get in, from 2004, which is when the remake of this game came out, which is also nuts. That was 19 years ago. I think this game holds up pretty well, actually. I think it's kind of a testament to, the game's creator and just how fun it is. So I'm really excited to play the game today.
I think in general, Sid Meier's games are like that. I mean, they just really hold up and are fun to play, whether you're playing the original or they. One of the things that's been cool as they reboot them over the years is they really keep the rule set pretty strict. They adhere strictly to what he envisioned. Some of the later civs, like we played last time, start to diverge.
Yeah.
But even there, it's still very much in that original spirit of the Sid Meier's game.
Yeah, definitely. And John says, I remember having a lot of fun with it long ago. So yeah, it's great to hear that we have some, a couple of people in chat today who might have, played Sid Meier's Pirates when you were younger. So today the plan for our stream is we're going to play about an hour of the game, take a 5-minute break to stretch, hydrate, grab a snack, and then we'll reconvene with another hour of gameplay since Chris is a returning guest. So we'll just get to talk with him the whole time and ask questions. So I'm going to get the game booted up now, and here we go. I'm super excited. All right, I'm loading the game. Always takes a while. All right. Chris, let me know if you're able to see it on your end. It might take a little while to load, but it should be sharing now, hopefully.
I can see it and hear it.
Okay. And yeah, I see it on stream. Great. Oh, and Silver says, I've never played it, so it'll be nice to see some of it. Yeah, this is, we'll talk about, how, like, historically accurate this game might be. I mean, I'm glad we're streaming with a historian. So, sometimes when we play these games, like, you wonder, like, is this really what pirate life was like? But, yeah.
And I will say, if you've never played it, if you have the itch to play some of the earlier 90s versions, I believe they're up on archive.org. They have an entire library of old 80s and 90s games that you can play for free in their emulator section.
Okay, well that's helpful. Yeah, save some money and see if you can play the emulated version. John says this is 100% accurate. I don't know, John. All right, let's play Sid Meier's Pirates. Okay, we got this nice opening scene. It began with a celebration. Indebted for years to the Marquis de la Montalban. A family's prosperity was soon to be restored. Their fleet was due to arrive on the morrow, carrying both their hopes and their salvation. But the celebration was befouled by an unwelcome guest. The Marquis himself arrived bearing ill tidings. The fleet had been lost, and the debt had come due. The family's property was seized, and they were pressed into bondage. But one of them would not be a slave. Look at his eye patch, his skull and crossbones on it. And so it was that the brave young scion escaped his family's fate, swearing to save them and one day avenge the Marquis's foul deed. 10 years later. Now grown to his full measure, the young adventurer began his quest to find his family and restore their fortune, shoeless. Seeking passage to the New World, ye inquire at a public house. If ye be looking for passage to the Americas, ye can sign up here. All right, here we go. Okay, so Chris.
Yeah.
What are some good pirate names?
So most of your pirates are going to be either English or French. Most of your buccaneers would be French. And in both cases, the most common name would be John.
Okay.
So we could go with John or Jean.
Jean. Oh.
There were a lot of them. There were also a lot of Welsh pirates.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not up on my Welsh name, so I'll suggest
I like Jean.
John.
Yeah. It's a good surname. I'm gonna say Jean the Impressive. I don't know. It's just a made-up name, obviously. Okay. I'm gonna say Jean. Jean the Pirate. I know. Very, very original. All right. So now we get to pick our level of experience. I know Silver says the dangerous pirates couldn't chase down a child. I know, right? I'm gonna go journeyman. I'm not quite a swashbuckler yet, but we'll test our mettle as a journeyman.
The game gets, like most Sid Meier's games, if you go up past the middle one, it gets real hard real fast.
Did you ever make it on the hardest level? Did you ever try it?
Yeah, I lost pretty quickly.
That's fair. Okay, so we're gonna try, not the easiest, but we'll go one step up. We've gotten our sea legs. Opponents are a little bit tougher. Sword fights are more decisive. Um, do you happen to know where the term swashbuckling comes from by any chance? It's okay if you don't. I've always wondered.
I don't. I mean, a buckler is a shield,
Yeah.
and I'm assuming one who is wielding weaponry at sea would be my guess, but
Uh-huh.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah. Okay, so we can pick being good at fencing, gunnery. I like how when you click on all the different ones that your character pops up with like whatever they're holding. So navigation, we'll have a little telescope.
The
Medicine.
skill at medicine amuses me because what skill at medicine?
Yeah. Improves your health and
um,
extends your career as a pirate. Yeah.
I don't want to replicate too much of our last stream, but yeah, the 1600s were known for, um, much like the 13 and 1400s for their
Yeah, I'm a little
medicine.
bit a little skeptical of this med kit. Wit and charm. Oh, okay. If we want to romance the lovely local governor's daughters, which I guess wasn't in the first game, but they brought it back for the 2004 version, or this
Yeah,
mechanic. Um,
yeah, it's not in the Pirates Gold version. You don't have to woo anybody,
yeah, we
but it's kind of a testament to the romanticization of pirates generally in culture.
yeah, being witty and charming. I think I'm gonna stick with fencing. I'll woo the governor's daughter with my skill at the sword. Okay, so now we have our choice of start date. So 1600. Wow, they have a lot of. I'm just gonna read this out loud. After the 1590s, the Spanish, and you can tell me how accurate this is. The Spanish Empire begins a slow slide into decay and chaos, both militarily and
Mhm.
economically. Conversely, England and France are growing vital nations. The reputed riches, pleasant climate, and emptiness of the Americas all picken, and a miscellaneous assortment of Frenchmen and Englishmen start new colonial ventures in 1600.
I would say that the reputed riches is true. Pleasant climate, no. Most people who came to the New World would die of disease. So the skill at medicine, going back to that, by the 1600s, you had uh, yellow fever and malaria were the two most entrenched diseases throughout the tropics in the New World. And for example, when the French tried to settle for the first time the northern part of South America, 9 out of every 10 people sent died.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know about pleasant climate,
Yeah.
but the rest is fairly true. During the 1550s to 1600 era is really where the English and the French start trying to pick off pieces of the French Empire.
Mm-hmm.
It's the heyday of smugglers, which they mentioned, and merchants,
Mm-hmm.
and they would do a thing called contraband by force of arms. So it was illegal in the Spanish kingdom, which they called the Rex Catholicismus, which is the Catholic kingdom, to trade with anyone who was A, not Catholic, or really B, not Spanish.
Hmm.
And so people like Francis Drake, who we know for circumnavigating the globe, would bring slaves with his cousin John Hawkins, and basically threaten the port town and say, "We will destroy and burn down your town unless you buy our slaves."
Hmm.
And that would give the local governor an out, and he'd be like, "Oh, okay, I promise I'll buy them." And then if the viceroy came knocking, he could say, "I had to.
Yeah.
They're going to burn down my town," even though it was kind of a mutually understood thing. So I, a very long-winded way of saying, I think merchants and smugglers is a good name for the first one.
Not long-winded at all. I think this is all really great. Okay, so 1620, the new colonists, the new colonial ports are a godsend of privateers who now have legal employ thanks to renewed warfare in Europe. Pinnaces and barks with piratical intent are everywhere in the Caribbean. Spanish strength continues to wane, especially at sea. A well-outfitted force can even attempt to capture the treasure fleet on the high seas. This is very vague.
Yeah. I mean, the periodization is a little bit, doesn't really line up with what scholars would say on the topic, but it is true that the first half of the 1600s the French, English, and Dutch were basically creating what were known as entrepôts, or kind of between ports, on all of what the Spanish considered the useless isles. Most people have heard the term the Spanish Main, or what the Spanish might call terra firma.
Mm-hmm.
They were interested in the mainland, the big chunks of land. Even Hispaniola was kind of a little bit small for their tastes. They wanted Mexico and South America, and so they deemed all those little islands in, say, the Lesser Antilles as the useless islands. Nobody wants them. And so the French and the English, namely, set up shop there, and then started launching piratical ventures from there in small ships. I mean, if you think of barks and pinnacles, they're very tiny ships. And if you think of, say, the Somali pirates using fishing vessels, that's a very common tactic, but not necessarily in the 1620s, more so in, say, the 1720s.
I was going to say, I don't know anything about ships. It's like me and cars. I don't really know. I mean, I know what minivans are and trucks and like regular cars, but if you ask me, I don't know how big a bark is or a sloop. So
I know some. We were talking about this before the stream. I know I could categorize them into big, medium, and small.
Yeah.
But if you want more details on that, I'm not a naval historian.
Yeah, and that's okay.
So I'm not the one to ask.
All right, 1640, war for profit. Oop. Opportunities abound and success awaits. Spain is almost always at war with somebody, and not uncommonly with everybody. Since Spanish military power is a joke, the opportunities for plunder are legion. After a rich cruise against the hapless Spanish, no voyage is complete without a wild party at Tortuga, Barbados, or is it Curacao? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, okay. Curacao.
Curacao. Well, this is, I think this era is just making fun of the Spanish. So.
Yeah, I don't know if I would agree that the Spanish power was a joke. The Spanish power, there were a lot of cracks in the wall, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But the English got their hat handed to them several times. For instance, trying to take Jamaica. And so I don't know. It is, though, they do point out places like Tortuga, Barbados, which really takes off after 1650, and really starts to cement English in the New World. Tortuga being the haven of the buccaneers, who we'll turn to next. So some of this is true. Some of this is embellishment for embellishment's sake.
Yeah, I always wonder, do they get historians to help them, create the descriptions for these games? Like, who's writing them?
Well, it'd be a little boring. Like, the Spanish dominated all the way up until the end of the 1600s.
Mm-hmm. All right, 1660, which is probably where we're going to start our game. It's called the Buccaneer Heroes. This era is sometimes called the Golden Age of Buccaneering. There's plenty of warfare to legalize your actions and a plethora of rich Spanish and non-Spanish ports to either raid or use as bases, as you prefer. Because of her military weakness, Spain's ships and towns are the popular target for buccaneers and pirates of all nationalities.
I would flip it and say because of Spanish riches and wealth, and because they were at war, as one of the other start dates indicated, with virtually everyone at various points, because they were the big dog on the block. That's usually why they were getting attacked. But yeah, this is accurate. The 1650s and 60s and 70s is definitely the heyday of the Buccaneers.
Okay, and then the last one is called Pirate Sunset. Prospects in this era appear as good as the 1660s and 1670s. However, pirate hunting warships appear more frequently. While the non-Spanish ports are larger and better fortified, take advantage of pirate amnesties when offered, so you're prepared for a sudden outbreak of peace. Okay.
So this is a bit early. That would be true perhaps 20 years later, 20 to 30 years later. There is a lot of, for instance, Captain Morgan, Henry Morgan, fell afoul of a peace with the Spanish at a time that was inconvenient for him. And so he gets put under house arrest before being made lieutenant governor. And that was right around, I think, early 1680s. I think 1683, but I'd have to double check on that. Okay. But the golden age of pirates goes all the way up until 1726. And that's where historians end it. And that's really where they're talking about pirate hunting warships and the like coming to the New World to really stamp out piracy. Is really from about 1716 to 26, that last decade there. So they're kind of moving up the time scale quite a bit to fit with these 20-year increments that they've chosen.
Well, I'm excited to be a buccaneer. I'll keep my name, Jean the Pirate. All right, let's head off. You need to sign on as part of a crew. The captains at yonder tables will gladly take ye aboard. There be French, Spanish, Dutch, and English ships a-looking for able-bodied lads such as yourself. Take your pick. So we could sign aboard with a French, sign aboard with the Spanish, the Dutch, or the English.
I would say maybe we should sign up with the English, just because, people like Henry Morgan would enlist sometimes 1,000 to 2,000 buccaneers underneath it, and many of them were French in his employ. So, but he was a Welshman, and he really wouldn't want to be called English because he was a Welshman. But I'd say go with the English.
All right, let's do it. Welcome aboard, Mr. Jean the Pirate. We sail with the tide. The crossing was fraught with terror and cruelty. The captain drove the ship and her crew to breaking. Oh, I don't look very happy.
He's swabbing the deck.
Oh. It's very Captain Hook-like. Pushed beyond all decency, the crew mutinies. Oh my goodness. So I don't know how accurate this is, but this is certainly very dramatic.
She's quite accurate, right down to I was with them up until he started firing the cannon at his own ship.
Okay.
But up till that point, that was actually quite accurate. We signed on with the English as a French buccaneer. The captain would be a privateer who would pay the crew a flat wage that was often very low, and he would rule the ship with an iron fist. And physical, kind of corporal punishment was frequently used against the crew, and then they would mutiny, and that's where a lot of your pirate ships come from.
Yeah. John says, yeah, shooting your own ship doesn't make too much sense. Okay, English capital Port Royal. It's a haven for English merchants smuggling to and from the Spanish Main. You just talked about the Spanish Main. Okay, well...
And Port Royal will stay a major entrepot all the way up until it literally sinks into the ocean.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, it sank into the ocean?
Yeah, and it's 1693. There was a huge earthquake.
Oh my gosh.
And it sank into the ocean, the entire thing. So it's completely gone.
I had no idea. Well, I don't think the governor would believe us if we told him, but it's good to know.
Well, yeah. He doesn't have the foresight we do.
Yeah. I love the
1692 was the earthquake.
Okay. We are at war with the evil Spanish. A letter of marque which authorizes you to plunder and sink the ships of our enemies. Okay, so we got this nice map. They want to... Santiago. Okay. In fact, a juicy Spanish coastal bark was seen this one headed in that direction. Good day. I'm having fun how they're calling us by our full name. Alright, so I think, I'm just gonna, visit the tavern, see who's there, and then we'll head off after we speak with people. Alright. Despite the booming economy, adventurous band of 21, it doesn't hurt to have more people. We can feed them. I'm good with welcoming them aboard. Wow, it's hard to believe, like, 60 people crammed on, like, a very small boat, though. Hello. Blackbeard. Second most notorious pirate. Is this...
Way too early for
Yeah, when was
Blackbeard.
Blackbeard?
Edward Teach did not come about till that golden age of that period 1716 to 1726. So far too early.
Okay, well, he is here now, or maybe like his ancestors.
of the legacy of all the Blackbeards.
Yeah, this is Blackbeard Prime. Okay. Wow, 7,500 gold doubloons. That is a lot.
I think he got his ship up to 88 miles per hour.
What?
And that's
I don't even drive my car that fast sometimes. That is very fast. Okay, so if we go to Santiago, they can upgrade our ship. Great. Okay, I think we're good to go. Oh. Yeah, oh, we're poor. We only have 100 gold pieces. We don't need this ruby ring yet, but maybe when we're richer, we'll come back and grab this and win the heart of the governor's daughter. Okay. It is so bizarre to me to see things in tons, because, a ton that is a lot of weight. Like, just treating, like, tons of food. I like to I'm just gonna load up a little bit. And then I think we're good to go. Yeah, our crew.
enough food for 6 months. All right, we're set.
Yeah. Oh. I will note that I am not very good at steering. We'll just see where this takes us.
So we have a letter of marque against Spain, correct?
We do.
So we are not pirates. We are privateers. We have a government backing us.
Oh.
Giving us the ability to attack.
Should we attack these?
Oh, are they pirates? No one will care if we attack them.
Come back. Come back.
But yeah, with the letter of marque, you have a government backing you. Now, the people you're attacking don't care. They're going to just consider you a pirate. But there's a government giving you legitimacy. So that is the main distinction between pirate and privateer.
All right. I'm not very good, but oh, okay. We'll do our best. Full sails. Fire. Okay, I hit them.
Oh, they're gonna board you.
Okay. Oh gosh. Longsword, rapier, or cutlass. I'm just gonna do longsword. John's question. Good time. If you were both sent back in time to be pirates, how good of a pirate would you be? I don't think I would be a very good pirate.
Can't imagine I would either.
maybe ask me like 10 years ago. Like if I had the time to like train, I think I could be a good pirate right now in like my sedentary, like I'm not middle-aged yet, but I imagine, I'm too old to be a pirate. I'm not 18 like Jean the pirate is. Actually, what was the average age of pirates? Do you know? Like how?
Oh, very young. A pirate in their early 20s was an old pirate. Most of them were teenage boys.
Yeah, so I am very much not a teenage boy. So I am.
That'd be terrible too, because I'm also not a teenage boy.
That's kind of horrifying. Just imagining a bunch of teenage boys running around. My nephew is like 14. My nephew would be a very good pirate, I think. Okay. Chop. Rest. I'm just, just pressing all the buttons. I have no strategy.
Oh, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
He's already on the ropes.
Oh, I did it. We have taken command. I am the best fencer alive. Okay, welcome aboard, lads. Yeah, because, in this game, like, all the pirates, they don't look like teenage boys, right? They look kind of like hardened dudes in their 20s.
They look like 20s. Teenagers in, like, Beverly Hills 90210. In that sense. But they're all in their mid-30s.
Let's keep her. Nice. We got another pirate ship now. Okay, let's...
I just realized how dated that reference is.
I don't think I've ever seen that show. So
Oh no.
you're okay. I think well it was to be honest, it was like one of those shows where it was on TV, but I just didn't watch it.
I guess a better reference point might be Riverdale,
I know of Riverdale.
where they're all supposed
Wait,
to be in high school, but they all look like they're in their mid 20s to
the
late
the
20s.
Spanish just captured Port Royale. That was our town. They were well. Okay, I'm just gonna go back because I wanted to sell some stuff. Oh gosh, are they gonna attack me?
They're gonna attack you, yeah.
Oh,
You're not supposed to be there.
uh-oh. Oops.
See? As
Whoops.
let's talk about before, the Rex Catholicismus.
But
I'm bad
maybe,
at Latin.
I'm gonna upgrade though, because iron scantlings through this damage, and we have the money, so we'll do that. Okay, goodbye. All right then. Oh, well, I think we can do this. They only have 4 guns.
Oh, but they've got the fort right there.
Oh no. Well, we'll see. We'll see how see if we do it or not. Oh, okay. Well, all right. Not anticlimactic. Chris, can you talk about the word buccaneer?
Sure, it's one of my favorite pirate facts.
Okay,
So
I'll let you talk. So
the
I'm just
word,
going to casually, engage in gun battle while you while you do this.
okay, like you do, it
Yeah.
happens. So the word buccaneer comes from the French boucan, which is a barbecue. And so literally the buccaneers are the barbecuers. And it comes from about this era. There were a lot of French Huguenots in particular, but people who were of various Protestant denominations who were pushed out of Europe, moved to the New World and settle in the kind of hinterlands of some of these islands, up in the forested areas, away from some of the port towns. And what they would do is they would capture feral pigs that had been let loose on the islands by earlier waves of folk, or raise cattle or engage in logging. And they would build the boucan, and they would become boucaniers, which are barbecuers, and they would smoke and slowly cook meat and all the kinds of things we associate with good barbecue, and then sell it to passing ships and so on, and the wood as well, so on and so forth. And then in an instance where that dries up, they became seasonal labor essentially for privateering vessels. A privateer might come by and say, "Hey, we'll take 200 of you on as crew. Here's the contract, and then we'll dump you back off in the forested areas of the Jamaica, where you might go back to smoking meat." So yeah, buccaneers were literally the barbecuer.
I love that fact. I had no idea. Like I just thought buccaneers were buccaneers. I didn't know that they were the barbecuers. That is great. Also, we are
So
so slow. So Sorry to interrupt you.
So the next 4th of July, you really should be wearing a whole bunch of pirate gear while you flip burgers,
Yeah.
which is also not too far off for another reason, because Boston was a major smuggling hub in the 13 colonies.
Hmm.
Um, and the 13 colonies' very loose relationship with rules and regulations around maritime activity is partly what leads to the War for American Independence. Actually, largely what leads to the War for American Independence.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna stop by this like French port and then sell my things and then go to Santiago. I wish my geographic knowledge of these islands is not great. So when I look at the map, it doesn't really help me. Let's talk to the mayor. Hello? Oh, I have to escort him potentially? That is a
Oh
long
boy.
ways away. I don't know if I want to. Let's trade with the merchant. When they say luxuries, what do they mean by luxuries? Do you know? Is it like silk or
No, it would most likely be um, tobacco, sugar, rum.
okay.
Do they call out rum specifically?
No, so they have Yeah, goods, spice, and sugar, and then luxuries.
That's an interesting one because they're really luxuries would have been manufactured back in Europe.
Hmm.
So they wouldn't really be produced in the New World. That was the entire idea of mercantilism was all of your raw goods come from the New World. They all go back to Europe, and that's where they produce all of your luxury items from said raw goods and then resell that back to the New World. And so there was a lot of frustration even over things like rum
Hmm.
because the sugar was supposed to be shipped all the way back to Europe and then produced and distilled
Hmm.
and then sent back to the New World, but that didn't really hold up.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. You know, I may as well visit the tavern. Okay. I wish I knew Spanish. I don't know what hombre ahogado means. Okay.
I don't know what that one means, but I know what Sir Francis Drake's captured ship meant, and it's my favorite, most colorful uh, Spanish ship name.
Yeah, what is it?
So he takes I think it's the Our Lady of Immaculate Conception,
Uh-huh.
and he renames it the Cagafuego, which in English is the fire shitter, because it had so many cannons on it.
Wow.
That one always goes over really well in my undergraduate lectures.
Yes. Do you
Mostly because most people are like, "Oh, sort of that word."
how often do you teach your pirate class?
Every spring.
Okay.
So the next time I'll be teaching it is spring 2024.
Oh yeah, this upcoming spring. Um, don't attack us. Okay, good. Yeah, we are. You know, I decided I would be nice and go to this petite city and deliver the new governor.
Petit Guave.
Yes. It's a very peaceful voyage. Oh, happy delivery. Okay, I think we have to fight them.
Here comes a privateer,
Yeah,
yeah.
look at that literature.
What?
um, yeah, we'll do my best. A little scary.
Oh, almost evenly matched, but we have two fewer guns.
Okay.
Oh, Drowned Man. That would make a lot of sense, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Thanks,
Okay.
Silverfelt.
Yeah, thank you. Chop. Thrust. Okay.
All right, this is all up to your fencing
I
skills here,
know.
Kathleen.
You know, I've always wanted to learn fencing. I am the best fencer. What can I say? I've done it. So that's the new strategy. We're not even going to bother with the gun battle. It's just board them as soon as we can, and I'll take care of the rest.
You know, honestly, that's actually what usually happens.
Really?
So you wouldn't be driving around with a pirate flag up. You'd be driving around with false colors, matching whatever it is that the ship is that you're approaching, and then you would strike your colors and put up the black flag saying I'm a pirate, and hopefully just terrify the crew into giving up.
Again, I'm just imagining like 60 teenage boys doing this, and it's really funny. Fencing could be even more exciting with fires surrounding the arena. I agree, Ostrich. Well, we got a crewman. It's great. Welcome aboard, lads.
It's like a really dark version of Peter and Wendy or Peter Pan.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got a new ship. Again, okay, maybe there'll be some other people along the way we can attack. We have a lot of food, so I'm not too concerned. The music is great.
So, Kathleen, can I ask you a question? What are you using to control the ship?
So do you see it's the numpad on my keyboard.
Oh, that's fascinating because that's exactly how you controlled the original game. But I had the Xbox version for the original Xbox, and that you have to use a controller for.
That sounds like it'd be difficult.
Driving the ship was easier.
Okay. Oh, did you? Okay.
The other controls would be a little trickier.
Silver pellet. Your coat catches on fire. What's the more logical thing to do? Take it off or jump in the ocean? Apparently, it's jump in the ocean. Yeah. Should we attack this Spanish ship? Oh no. Oops. Don't attack them. They might be faster than us, though. Can I reach you? Should we do it? Should we let the
They're
governor
also
be?
transporting a governor.
I
Yeah.
know. I mean, yeah, should I be aggressive or not aggressive? I mean, they're here. I kind of just want to go for it. I'm
Let's
okay.
do
All
it.
right.
We have a lot more crew and double the guns. I think we're
Yes.
in a good situation.
Okay. I just wish you could go faster. I know there's an upgrade that can make your ship go faster, so soon.
The average life of a pirate was about anywhere from a handful of months to at most 2 to 3 years. It was a very, very rough life. They would either die at sea just due to the dangers of sailing out in these smaller vessels. In the Caribbean, they could die of disease, dismemberment from the rigging, or get caught and then be summarily executed, hanged and put on the end of the docks like William Kidd.
Well, we didn't have to fight, which was good. But man, I'm just, it's already it's so hard catching up to these ships because they're all kind of going up to the same speed. So I'm just imagining it's like at the 1600s, just like a very, very slow like chase. There's no electric motor.
Yeah, so John, if you go back in time, bring an electric outboard motor.
Yeah. All right, we'll take all the food. We're good. Might as well just take this new boat and then we'll go to the new governor's there. Great. Hope the raider doesn't attack them. No, no, no. We gotta keep them safe. No, no,
Oh no!
no. Okay, can
I
I
love that you delivered the governor
just as they're being attacked?
while the city's under attack. Here you go, bud.
They have 100. Okay, you know what?
Don't attack. That's a ship of the line. So they were called ships of the line because they would line up, kind of think Civil War style, next to one another, and then just fire all their cannons at each other at once. And in a sloop, you stand no chance at taking a ship of the line. The most famous pirates that we can think of, people like Henry Morgan, did not attack the Spanish treasure fleets because they were all ships of the line. They actually would go on land, and a lot of piracy actually took place on land, and would pick off the mule trains as they were bringing the predominantly silver, and to a certain extent gold, down into places like Veracruz in Panama, and snatch it before it got to port or got on one of these vessels. So this is a very long-winded way of saying I would not attack.
I'm just sad. Can we get into this? Yeah. Before they're taken over, we'll talk to the new governor. Hello.
Does he recognize us? I mean, he's been sailing with us for a
Yeah,
while.
I'm the one who escorted you to just as you're being attacked. Yes, we know the evil Spanish. You are the new governor. That's you. You're the new governor. Would pirates ever take over an entire port?
I just caught that.
Yeah. Would pirates ever take over an entire port? That's a good question. I'll let you answer that, Chris.
Yeah, actually, Henry Morgan took over quite a few ports on his way inland, tortured many of the residents, burned down many of the buildings, asking where their valuables were. So they would, but usually the smaller port towns would they take and then hold for ransom, hoping to get money from the Spanish for the release of the city.
Well, I don't know how we become Baron, but I'll keep this in mind. Goodbye.
Not entirely inaccurate. Henry Morgan becomes Sir Henry Morgan. Francis Drake becomes Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake was actually knighted by Queen Elizabeth I herself on the deck of his ship in port by cover of night, so no one knew, because he was a pirate. She didn't want to inflame tensions with Spain any more than she had to.
Yeah. Are the clothes accurate, do you think? Do you know
No,
about pirate clothing?
no, not at all.
It's kind of an imagined pirate wear.
Yeah, this is more like 18th century, or I mean, late 19th century Pirates of
Really?
Penzance costume design than it is accurate. Sailors wore kind of loose-fitting, comfortable clothing, and they would have been completely indistinguishable from pirates. The
Okay.
two would look almost exactly the same, and that was kind of the point. You didn't want to be easily recognizable. You wanted to be able to get up close to a ship and attack it without somebody going, "Hey, look! They all have pointy pirate hats with,
Yeah.
skull and
I know
crossbones
this
on them."
guy. Yeah, he has the pirate tat. He has the eye patch. And again, teenage boys, no sense of fashion. Okay. Blackbeard, out of time. Okay. So he's just north. I don't think we're ready to fight him yet, but maybe someday.
Also, not the name of his ship.
Adventure Prize, yeah.
Yeah, that was the name of William Kidd's capture of the Care
Oh.
Merchant,
Oh.
which is like 20 years from now, and where we're at in the game.
Okay. A one-shot pistol. No, I don't need. That's a very expensive pistol. It's too much for me. Sorry. I love that you get the hot gossip from a tavern lady. That's great. I know. This is great. All right, let's see. Do we have... Let's repair. I don't know if we need to upgrade. I'm fine just... Okay, so we have a brig. We'll just stick with our little ship for now, I think. Maybe eventually we'll get like a nice ship that we can change into our new flagship, but I've already upgraded. I'm okay keeping this.
I think your first ship is damaged, though. Should we repair it?
Oh, this one? No, I think so. It indicates the one that you're on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I don't really care about this one. I think it's fine that this other pirate ship that we captured is repaired. I think that's fine. As long as our main ship is good. What does that say? No peace beyond the line. Is that... I'm pretty sure that sails probably didn't look this nice in the 1600s.
No, they wouldn't have drawn things all over them either.
Yeah. Do you know when the skull and crossbones came into play?
It became very popular in the heyday of pirates from really the hallmark of piracy between, like, say, 1700 and 1726. And the most famous skull and crossbones that we can think of are from that decade before 1726. The one that we almost always think of the skull and cross sabers, was of Calico Jack Rackham's ship, where he had Anne Bonny and Mary Read, the kind of two most famous pirates in the Western Hemisphere who were female. But the one that's the iconic template for the skull and crossbones is theirs. Edward Teaches has a kind of a demon skull dancing with an hourglass and a saber, and he's stabbing a heart. So everyone kind of had their own take on it. If you've seen the Taika Waititi show, oh shoot, what's the name of it, about pirates that was on HBO? I can't think of it. Everyone has it in the chat. Please throw it in there.
Yeah.
But the very first episode has them having a competition where they're sewing their skull and crossbones, or their Jolly Roger, and having a competition of who can embroider the best Jolly Roger, and it's quite hilarious.
Interesting. And welcome in, Strawberry System. Thank you for joining our stream today. So you say you're a history buff. Interesting. Why is the conquest of bread left out? You're non-Baron. Okay. Hello. Yeah, welcome to our stream. So we're streaming Sid Meier's Pirates today with Chris Church, who is a professor of history at the University of Nevada, Reno. And yeah, thanks for coming to our stream. I guess we got some good questions. The conquest of bread.
It does not seem to be a related to what we're talking about question.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're mostly focusing on our game today with Sid Meier's Pirates and sort of history and geopolitics in the 1600s. Okay, so I've been appointed as a new governor of St. Martin. I have big plans. All right. Oh, another mayor that wants us to escort him.
Another big thing that is left out of Sid Meier's, and Sid Meier spoke on this himself explicitly, is there's no slavery in this game either. So when we played Civilization last time, slavery was left out. In this one, there's a loosened reference to indenture or indentured servitude at the very beginning of the game, but there's no references to slavery. And pirates were as apt to capture slave vessels and resell their human cargo as they were a vessel full of textiles or sugar. And in the 1500s, and some of those earlier periods we were talking about, that was actually predominantly what pirates and smugglers would sneak into the Spanish Empire, particularly as the encomienda system fell apart and the native populations died from disease and overwork. And so this is like this really nasty part of the historical period we're in that's just completely left out of the game.
I know they've sort of had this issue with some board games that have come out recently, how either they, how the way that they treat or address slavery. So it's interesting that Sid Meier's did make that decision very early on to not include it in his games. Well, we are back at the tavern, a great meeting point. I like getting the gossip from the ladies. Okay, a French brigantine bound for Santo Domingo. Okay, so if we can take this ship over, we can get the navigator. Did the obsession with classical piracy and pop culture start with Disneyland?
And like, sorta. I mean, yes, in the very modern sense, in say the last 80 years. One could argue that people were pretty obsessed with piracy at the heyday of the tail end of the heyday of piracy itself. 1724 is the history of the pirate, written by Captain Charles Johnson, was a massive seller. And it was kind of like in the vein almost of like Friday night, was it Dateline, Nightline, the one about the murders, the murder mysteries, the crime drama stuff that comes on late on Friday nights on broadcast television. And people wanted to read these kind of salacious stories about criminals and sea brigands and pirates and stuff. What happens if you flash forward 100 years and you start getting into the 19th century, people start to get really interested in pirates and romanticizing them. So some of the earliest stuff is, as you mentioned, Treasure Island by Stevenson. That becomes kind of the cultural template we use. And then Pirates of Penzance by Gilbert Sullivan became very popular at the end of the 19th century. Peter and Wendy became very popular as a book, then a play, gets picked up by Disney. By the time you hit the 1930s and 40s, Disney leans heavily into it. And then by the 60s, with the opening of Pirates of the Caribbean, the ride at Disneyland and then Disney World, Disney has an indelible stamp really on how we picture pirates today, for sure.
Thank you for sharing all that. And then we have another question. I've heard that pirates would regularly include rum and other kinds of alcohol as a substitute for fruit. Oh, I didn't know that, Silver. Do you know how true that is? Is that true?
I don't know if they would use it as a substitute for fruit. I'm not saying they didn't. I just hadn't heard that. But I do know, I think here you're referencing scurvy, that one of the big problems with sailing is that you have very little to no vitamin C in your diet. Because you're predominantly eating hardtack, which is basically like it's the lembas bread of
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, but terrible. It's like a Cliff Bar with no sugar and hard as a rock. It's just basically flour turned into a really hard bread. You'd eat salt pork, salt cod, salted fish and meats, basically dried cheeses if you could get them. And what happens is you get scurvy, and then the collagen in your body doesn't get produced because you don't have vitamin C. And so everything that needs collagen, your gums, your joints, your brain, your skin will start to develop lesions, your teeth will fall out. And so you need citrus, you need some sort of vitamin C. Where I've heard the alcohol is, what they would actually use alcohol for, is it's safer to drink than water. And so it's why beer was such a popular drink for such a long period of centuries, because you could brew a low alcohol beer and be certain that the beer yeast actually outcompetes all organisms that cause gastrointestinal distress and disease in humans. And so you could drink beer safely, whereas the water may be contaminated. And so they would drink grog on the ships, where they would mix in alcohol at a certain ratio, kind of like how you would use, say, an emergency situation, bleach, and mix it in a very small quantity to try to sanitize your water. So they drink very watered down alcohol.
I'm not sure if
Yeah,
Chris...
I would be interested to look that up too, Silverpelt. I'd never heard that alcohol was used. Maybe it was tried. I can't see how it would help. Ethanol, the alcohol that we consume in alcohol is not, or ethyl alcohol rather, is not, does not have vitamin C in it, but I could see pirates trying it.
Yeah, and then Strawberry System, I'm not sure about your question about Metroid, so we'll just try to confine those game questions to Sid Meier's for now, if you don't mind, since I don't know Chris's experience with playing the Metroid series either. I appreciate you asking.
I mean, if I were to venture to say, I don't think that pirates really didn't conquer land so much as mostly take goods and resell them on the black market for quick profit, and then very quickly spend all of that money in port. So they were more a reaction to the large private industries, the joint stock companies that were starting to develop around this time and would take off in the following century, in the kind of commercial bubble and explosion of the 1700s.
I'm now a merchant. Oh my goodness, a raider. Thank you so much. Melissa in Denial, hello. Chris, we have been raided by another streamer. This is very exciting. This is like the perfect, I don't know if raids and pirates go hand in hand, but here we are. Hello. Yay, Humanities. Yeah, Melissa, thank you so much. Can we give Melissa a shout out? I guess we'll just take a brief pause and we'll introduce ourselves to everyone. Welcome in. So I'm Kathleen. I'm a program manager for Nevada Humanities, which is our state's council partner for the National Endowment for the Humanities. Every state in the United States has a council partner for the NEH as well as NEA. So, look up your local humanities council or arts council if you have one. They often have really awesome programming going on, grant opportunities for individuals and nonprofits. And today we are streaming Sid Meier's Pirates, a 2004 remake with Christopher M. Church, who is a professor at the University of Nevada, Reno. And we're having a great time learning about pirates, history in the 1600s, and trying to be the best pirate we can be. So thank you so much for that raid. My goodness.
Welcome, all of you raiders.
You live right over the mountains from there? Fun in Nevada. Nevada, if you didn't know, is the most mountainous state in the U.S. A lot of people don't realize this. You might think it's like Colorado or somewhere like the Appalachian, but no, it's actually Nevada. I like to tell everyone that. Yes, absolutely. Pirates. Yeah, so again, thank you so much for the raid, Melissa. Really appreciate it. You're in Nevada City, California. Your dynamite is named Reno. Well, my goodness. A lot of great Nevada coincidences. Yeah, so Melissa, if you need to, take a break, go get some water. We're about to take our 5-minute break very soon. We always take a 5-minute break in the middle of our stream so people can stand up and stretch, get hydrated. But if you guys stick around and want to watch some pirate gameplay and ask questions of our guests, we'd love to have you. And we stream pretty regularly on our humanities channel. So, give us a follow if you'd like to, hang out with our guests. We usually stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but if you follow us, you'll sort of get our notifications whenever we're live. Yeah, and Asha says that's crazy to think about because in my head, I always think of Nevada as flat. But, if you visit Vegas, you look out, Vegas is literally in a valley and there's mountains all around. Chris, you're in Reno, lots of mountains.
Oh yeah, tons of mountains, and it's also predominantly federal land.
Yeah.
So a lot of the mountains are federal land.
Yeah, Silver Pelt, feel free to ask any pirate related questions or having a great time with plundering and buccaneering or barbecuing, as we learn. Buccaneering is also barbecuing. Love that fact. So
And also on the Nevada and pirate theme, Nevada is one of the world's leading producers of gold.
I did not know that. I thought like maybe like copper, and I know there's a lot of mining, but I didn't know about the gold part.
Yeah.
Okay, I think what we're gonna do is this is sort of a great time. If the Raiders want to take a break, really appreciate you stopping by. But it's been about an hour, so Chris, I think this is now a good time for both of us to stretch, get hydrated, and then we'll be right back. So let me pull it up. All right, we're gonna take a break, and we'll see you all very soon if you stick around. Again, thank you so much, Melissa, for the raid. Great to see you. All right, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Hello. We're back.
Oh my god!
Oh
I
no,
got shot him drinking right as we came back.
welcome. I hope everyone got to stretch a little bit, get some water. Um, all right. Let's. What are we doing here? We got a lot of food. We're gonna stay away. I have a question for the Raiders, which is: have any of you ever played this game? Have you played Sid Meier's Pirates or any other Sid Meier's games? So like Alpha Centauri, Colonization, of course, the Civilization games. I didn't realize how much of a legacy like Sid Meier had until I realized like he attached his name to like all these games. Sid Meier's Civilization, Sid Meier's Pirates. Good at branding. Give not. Well, that's all right. That's why we got stream. This is such a nice throwback. I've appointed as new governor of Tortuga. He has big plans. I assume he will protect my ship from harm. Man, all of these mayors are assuming that we're just gonna, take a break from our piracy to protect them.
What have we actually done to earn his trust?
I don't know. We just stopped in. We just said hello. To be fair, it's not that far. It's just like a casual, like we're just walking down a driveway together, Okay. We love the tavern. It's rumored that the Perla bound for Santiago is carrying over 1,000 in gold. I believe she's a Spanish brig. I never heard of any of the Sid Meier's games. I'm enjoying my time with this so far. Yeah, and that's the great thing about games and Twitch is that you get to learn so much about all these like older games and newer games coming out. If you want to save money, Twitch is a great way to play a game without playing it, so to speak. Yes, tell me
Yes,
more.
Sid Meier was a big league at Microprose, I think, which is if you look into the old Microprose games, there's some of the kind of heavy hitters of the late '80s, early '90s that really kind of define some of the genres that we take for granted nowadays.
Were those like Master of Orion? Was that like a Microprose game? That sounds
Yep,
really familiar. I spent
Master of
a lot of
Orion.
my
I think
childhood.
Master of Magic was one as well,
Yes, I love that game too. This
which
is
became
my
the
childhood.
template for what's the there's a popular game series nowadays that's based off of Master of Magic series.
I don't know it.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna sail around this island. See where it takes us. Oh wait, the governor. Wait, I forgot about him. We gotta take him back to Tortuga. Ostrich, you haven't lost literal days of your life to civilization games. I know, right?
Age of Wonders.
I think I have played Age of Wonders. I'm a big fan of 4X games. I like taking my time with them. I need the governor. There he is. I think it's been a while since we attacked someone. Can we attack this person?
Let's do it.
All right. Again, not a teenage boy, but I'm doing my best. Hey.
They did release Silverpelt. They have a version of Sid Meier's Pirates Gold, the Gold Edition for SNES, which I think you can play on archive.org. I think that's one of the ones that they have. I don't think it was very popular, though. I don't remember actually ever seeing one physically at the time.
So how common were these sword fights? It just seems like, when were pistols invented? Weren't people also shooting at each other?
Yes, but they were wildly inaccurate and had one shot.
Oh, they had one.
So
Okay.
they're mainly like super short versions of muskets.
Okay.
Or you could use a blunderbuss, which is like that, like a proto version of an inaccurate shotgun. But in this period of time, you didn't have rifling, so your bullets would come out with a big spin on them,
Hmm.
and then could go any which way.
Okay. I just like to point out that we are rich. We just plundered 1,000 gold pieces.
Oh, is this the ship, the Perla?
This is I believe it is. We did
Awesome.
it. Okay, let's see. I'm just sort of sailing around aimlessly from place to place, and that's okay. We're just gonna see if we can interrupt any other pirates. So we'll be nice to the French. Jesuit mission. Can you tell me more about those, Chris? So I see those sometimes in the game, like just like on
So they were
random
known as the
islands.
Pope's Army, and they were created as part of the Counter-Reformation. So when the Protestants basically had a started to gain a firm foothold in Europe, the Catholic Church was like, okay, well, we need to have our own version of the Reformation to counter the Reformation. And the Jesuits were supposed to be kind of the tip of the spear of that. And they turned into one of the major missionary arms alongside, say, the Dominicans and the Franciscans, who go out and create missions all over the New World, trying to convert the native populations there. And people like Charles V, who united Spain and the Holy Roman Empire, and also had an empire in the New World in the mid 16th century, was convinced that if he could just convert the people in the New World to Christianity, he would bring about the end times, because he would have united all of the known world in Christianity. But they would create missions that heavily focused on education all over the world. So that's why a lot of universities in the United States, for instance, either are Jesuit or have in their history Jesuit origins.
Huh. That's cool. You can trace it all the way back. Thank you for sharing that. I just saw that Ingarash, yeah, I think we did lose your question in a raid. I remember seeing you type, and then we got very excited and we took a break. But Chris, his question for you is, why would they spend all the money very quickly? What did they generally spend that money on? And by money, I assume you mean like the gold pieces that were like plundering.
Yeah, a lot of it would be on money. On money. You don't spend money. A lot of it would be on drink and cavorting with women. And so, there are tales of buccaneers spending, 800 pieces of 8 on one night with a beautiful woman in a bar. And so money would just kind of run through their fingertips. And if you imagine all of a sudden you've just made this huge sale of illicit cargo, you're flush with cash, what is money to you at that point? Because as I mentioned before, your life could be very, very short. And so they would just spend and spend and spend on partying, basically.
Okay. And again, teenage boys, I'm not going to let this go, right? Just no self-control, just partying.
17, 18, 19 were the most common ages for pirates.
YOLO, absolutely. Well, the abbot here has information on our sister who has been missing for many years. The evil Spaniard, Baron Raimundo, is information which is going to be a great value. He's hiding in the city of St. Augustine. Wow, look at this guy. Oh, that's Florida. I know where this is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fountain of Youth.
Yo ho ho ho. I think that's the that's the title of our YouTube video now. Thank you. We're gonna title it Yo ho ho lo. Okay, how are the Ren doing? They're pretty content. Okay, we're probably gonna have to divide up our plunder soon. Let me just double check.
The Castillo de San Marcos is in St. Augustine. Really cool Spanish fort if you ever get a chance to visit.
Yeah.
Worth checking out.
I have never, the only places I've been in Florida is, Disney World, really.
And it's on the St. Johns River, which I think is one of the very few rivers in the world that travels from south to north.
I have accidentally wandered into the home of our enemy. I did not mean to. Should I just run away? Maybe I shouldn't go to the tavern. Well, maybe.
Oh, it looks like Blackbeard's not there. He's out at sea.
He is. Yeah, I didn't mean to stop here. Oh, repair. That's good. I don't think we need a bronze cannon. I'm just here to fence. Okay, so we're gonna run away. I think the plan is let's go up maybe to like Havana or some of these like island towns, and then maybe I'll see if I can divide up the plunder, because I think they're starting to get pretty
your crew
fancy.
Will start to get restless.
Yeah.
We don't want a mutiny on our hands.
Yeah, we've already seen what happens. Oh, that's Blackbeard. I don't know if we're ready to fight Blackbeard. Oh no.
Did they name his ship the Queen Anne's Revenge?
Can we the adventure prize? Can I like save it and attack them to see what happens? I'm just. Oh, they're already shooting at us. Okay, well, okay, he's just going home. Well, we'll
Yeah,
come
let's
back
get out
later.
of here.
Yeah, we'll come back for you later, Blackbeard. We know where you live now.
Silver Pelt. I've accidentally wandered into the home of our enemy. Well, that doesn't seem like an issue at all. It's fine.
I was like, look at this nice pirate town. Oh, it's Blackbeard's home. Elizabethtown. We're English. This is home. Let's talk to the mayor. You have been appointed as a new governor of Nassau. Okay. Yes, we have to escort you again. Oh, that's... Oh, we can make it there. Let's see if we can make some money. Well, sugar is so cheap. I kind of want to just buy a bunch of sugar and sell it when it's more expensive. This is me,
We
like in
have the
my...
space, and we've got 92 tons worth of space in the hole. Let's do it. Let's go for it.
We do. Yeah, we're just gonna do this too. All right.
Also, what's the difference between luxuries and just goods?
Right?
That one's like stuff.
Okay. Oh yeah, so we need way more money because right now they would only get 12 if
Oh, yeah,
we...
because you have a big crew.
We do. Okay, well maybe we'll go up. Maybe we can go into a fight and then tactfully lose some of our crew in the ensuing fight. Okay. Are you gonna have your class, the class that you teach in the spring? Do you ever talk about video games with pirates in them?
I a little bit. I tried to actually have them play this game, the original ones,
Yeah.
because you can do it in emulators. But it just so many people have tablets that the numpad thing wouldn't have worked, and so it kind of fell through. But we talk about a lot of games because the the class goes from pirates in the 1500s all the way up to modern day pirates, both of the high seas and of the internet.
Okay.
So we talk about like this long continuum of piratical activity and its relationship to commerce and state power and popular culture and romantic notions of them. So we talk a lot about video games because they're a big component of how we see pirates in popular culture.
Yeah. And yeah, there's
But in
some
terms
like...
of having them play them, um, I want to. I want to figure out the technological hurdle. It's just that everyone has a different device in front of them.
Yeah. We got a navigator. Oh, he can make us go faster. This is great. Ostrich. I need to spend all my illicit gold on something. One stuff, please. I'll take one stuff.
You sure you want a stuff or do you want a fancy stuff?
Yeah. One fancy stuff, please. I love this music. I wonder if they'll ever do an upgraded version of this game. It depends on what...
I hope they do. I don't think it was ever as popular as Civilization, but I think it's been enough time they could reboot it again.
Yeah. I am now a captain. Great. An estate. Is this common where folks granted estates, or is this just because like I'm like in service to like the English?
Those with letters of marque for sure. Yeah, they could be granted land. They could be, like I said earlier, Henry Morgan becomes lieutenant governor of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of the heyday for that, the 1680s and 90s. Woodes Rogers, who was a pirate turned pirate hunter, becomes governor in the 17 teens of the Bahamas, which was another pirate haven. So for sure, I wouldn't say it's common though. I guess it was. The historical record has enough examples of it to say it happens, but like if you went pirate, the likelihood was not that you were going to get land.
Okay. I mean, 400 acres, that is a lot. Granted, it's
That's
on the
pretty
outskirts, but
sizable
still.
state.
Yeah. You know, she might be very smart and very kind. You know, there's more to people than just looks. I think we should accept her invitation. What do you think?
I think we should. I don't think that.
We need some dancing. Let's take a break from pirating and do some dancing.
I think it's just a. I don't know. It seems like a pretty cruel, like rather plain.
You know. I mean, she has a beautiful dress. I think she's beautiful.
Angry Ostrich. I've not seen Futurama's 300 Big Boys. Is it worth looking up?
I wonder if I've seen it and I just don't know the title, because I know I've seen a lot of Futurama, but that title, it's not ringing a bell at the moment.
I will say, knowing how to dance was not a necessity for being a pirate. Perhaps a reputable privateer, but even then.
Can you explain again sort of the distinguishing a pirate versus a privateer?
Sure. So they both do the same thing, known as the commerce raiding. They're both attacking vessels at sea or on land. A lot of the attacks did happen on land, taking or purloining something that was en route or in transit in a network, and then reselling it.
Okay.
And so what makes the distinction is whether or not they have legitimacy.
Okay.
So you could get something known as a letter of marque and reprisal, which went back to the medieval tradition of an eye for an eye, but not just an eye for an eye. Like, if your group wronged my group, I could take retribution from any one of your group. It didn't have to be the person who specifically wronged me. So if you were at war, say you're English, you're at war with the Spanish, you could give a letter of marque and reprisal that says, you can take anything you want from the Spanish because we're at war with them and they've wronged us. And so in the eyes of the English, you're a privateer. You're a private arm, basically in the service of Her Majesty.
I see.
Or His Majesty in the case of kings. And then, but even then, like Sir Francis Drake, for instance, who sailed for Queen Elizabeth and was even knighted by her, was seen by the Spanish as just the pirate El Drac. So it's slippery. It really enters on perspective on who's looking at the person, whether or not they even give any legitimacy to the idea of a letter of marque from that other country. People like William Kidd, who's one of the most famous hanged pirates, who's reputed to have possibly buried treasure. The only one who actually is reputed to have buried treasure. He started as a privateer. He actually captured the Queda Merchant, which was the adventure prize I mentioned earlier. The ship was flying French colors or had French papers, and he had a letter of marque against the French, so it should have been okay. But what he did was threaten the interests, because he was in the Indian Ocean, of the English East India Company. And so when he got back, all the paperwork got lost. That said he was a privateer, and he was hanged as a pirate. And he's the one that if you ever see the hanged pirate at the end of the execution docks, where they just left his body out to rot, that's him. And a naval historian found those documents in the archives, I think in the early 90s, I want to say.
So they did exist, right? Yeah, it's like he...
They exist, yeah. But there's definitely a political edge to whether you're a pirate or a privateer.
Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have named myself Jean the Pirate. I'm already saying I'm a pirate. 300 Big Boys. Okay, so I'm gonna... You're thinking of the scene where Zoidberg tries to buy one Our Angry Ostrich. I'm gonna try and look that up. Thank you for sharing that. Well, the daughter has some information. What is this? A 3,000 gold reward is offered for a certain Mr. T. Connery, not Sean Connery, but T. Connery. He's hiding in a city of Florida Keys, and the tavern keeper there will assist us. Excellent. Thank you. That was a thrilling dance. I had a great time. I don't need to... I just want to save up some money. A Spanish trade galleon. I wonder how long a playthrough of this game lasts, because this is actually this is really addictive and fun. I strongly recommend this game for anyone who wants... I think it's very relaxing.
I've played it a lot and never beaten it. You're supposed to collect all the parts to the story of Marquis de Montalban and
I could see it
find, I
taking a
think, your
long
sister
time.
and your family members and pieces. And I always end up just getting either caught and thrown into jail, or
No.
I have a mutiny or something along those lines.
Yeah, I see here. Oh no, attractiveness rather plain. That's very rude. But yeah, 1 out of 10 romance. Zero, I can avenge villains. I can find treasure. I have 16 lost relatives. In that scene, it looked like there were only 5. I guess I have 16 I have to find.
This
Wow.
just makes me think of the Christina Aguilera song. I think she's beautiful, no matter what they say.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Trade with a
rather
merchant.
rather plain.
You know, I'm just gonna sell everything. Well, I really want sugar to go up just a little bit more. And then I can divide the plunder. So that's my goal. I want to get somewhere where sugar is more expensive, sell it, and then hopefully people won't be as angry.
It's a good plan.
Yeah.
So we have 96 tons of it, so we could easily triple or quadruple our money.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe we'll go to the Florida Keys. Looking it up, someone says should be around 10 hours long to be an casual playthrough. Huh. I feel like I would take longer. I feel like I would take my time. Ooh, yeah, because I would fight all the raiders. This is the most fun part. So
Oh, they only have 4 guns. I think this is why I've never beaten it, because I just sail around attacking ships.
I like the fencing part.
Have you ever played Monkey Island?
I have not. And so you mentioned this. Uh-oh.
Yeah. They've remade them with better graphics.
Okay.
The originals were pretty rudimentary, but you fence by insulting the other person. And the
Okay.
better your insult, the better your fencing. And if you do a poor insult that didn't make sense, then just like this game, you step forward or step back depending on how you're doing. But it's a pretty tongue-in-cheek pirate game.
Well, John says, yeah, he's never beaten this as well. You either went to jail or you're just fighting ships.
Yeah, me too. Has anyone else in the chat played Monkey Island? Those games?
That's something, maybe we could do that
The
next
old point and
time.
clicks.
Yeah. We should, well, next time you're on, it'd be fun to revisit one of them. Yeah, I never played them. The Florida Keys. Oh, that's Henry Morgan. We'll just leave him for now. I'm okay not fighting him. Although he's yelling from his boat. It's funny, you can see him yelling, "Yar, I'm the dread pirate Henry Morgan."
For fun,
Yeah.
look up an actual picture of Henry Morgan and compare it to the Henry Morgan on the rum bottles.
Okay.
If you're in the chat, you've got another window open or something. It's pretty far off.
Thank you. I didn't think I was serving the French, but I guess I kind of am, loosely. They're also giving me an estate in the Florida Keys. Lovely. You know, I think she's beautiful. You know, I think we're just gonna dance again, Chris. Maybe she'll give us some more information.
More info, more
Yeah.
intel.
Yeah, this is strategic. And that's a beautiful dress. Purple. Oh. Oh, this is hard mode now. They're no longer... So before, in the bottom right, they, like, it would flash and tell me, like, what to, press. And now I actually have to pay attention. Oh, no. Okay. I'm on edge here. Okay, I'm doing it. I wonder if
No, the heart up top is throbbing. I think you're doing well.
I don't know how to turn. Uh-oh. I'm not even a dancer in real life. What are some other good pirate games you've played? I know there's like Sea of Thieves, which I have not played, but that's potentially one.
There's the Assassin's Creed one. And the Assassin's Creed Assassin's Creed games are interesting because on the one hand, willfully historically inaccurate because of just the nature of the story, where you're this assassin going back and living through and just, with all these missions to kill people. But they spend a lot of time to get the atmosphere and the kind of time right. And so it's this kind of weird blend of historical accuracy and made up stuff. The Monkey Island series that I mentioned, I haven't played too many pirate-based games.
Well, I think
Sea of Thieves added a Monkey Island storyline. That sounds fascinating.
We'll have to check it out then. Thank you for sharing that, Queen Dark Lady. Thank you. Oh, I'm witting and trying. I hope your seamanship is better than your terpsichore. I assume that means my dancing. Did you see? She gave me a very disappointed head shake at the end. Oops. My sea legs. I don't have my land legs yet. We'll have to check that out. Yeah, thank you so much, Queen Dark Lady. I think this is where... Yes. The spy. T. Connor is hiding in the back. If you wish, I will take you to him. I mean, yes.
We're supposed to find him, right?
Oh, okay. Well, we're about to fight. His outfit doesn't look very great for, he has a long coat.
Yeah, also not very historically accurate. He's got a Three Musketeers hat on.
He does. Yeah, I was about to ask you, a lot of the pirates seem to have these, very, fancy hats. Also, what's that on my head? I have, a halo or something? Do you see that?
Yeah, I think you're dizzy for some reason.
Oh, no. Well, I'm doing my best. Rest.
Yeah, so the fancy hats thing did kind of start toward the end of the main period of piracy.
Okay.
In fact, the pirate Benjamin Hornigold was reputed to have gotten incredibly drunk with his crew one night, and they threw all their hats overboard. So the next morning, he captured the first ship he saw to steal their hats because they needed nice hats.
Oh, no.
And he did just that. He stole their hats and then sailed away with none of their cargo.
I mean, he was a man on a mission, and that mission was hats.
Yeah, and the mission was hats. But a lot of the most famous pirates did not wear the kind of hats that we picture. So, if you look up some of the earliest renditions of Blackbeard, he's wearing what's known as a thrum hat, which almost looks like a Davy Crockett hat.
Okay.
Nothing like the kind of hat on this very fancy fellow.
I feel like hats, now that I think about it, would be very useful when you're in a sun literally all day. I can't imagine the sunburn these men must have gotten, these teenage boys, when they're out in the sea, open sea under the sun all day.
Oh, and then all that salt, which makes it worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, the tricorn hat, the real famous one, that really wasn't popular till mid-century.
Yeah.
The 1740s. Long, 20 years after the heyday of piracy.
Yeah, he's a little bit too fancy. I think this guy has to stand trial. A ruby ring will not. Do not bribe me, sir.
Okay, bring him to trial. What did he do? Do we know?
No, I don't know. No, we'll just take his money though. Get the money from, 6. We'll do it.
6 gold on sugar. Yeah.
And then maybe we can divide the plunder. Wow, look at. Oh, they have 0. That's okay. Can I upgrade my ship first? Maybe we'll divide.
I think you lose your ships when you divide the plunder. Maybe we should sell all our ships.
Okay, let's do that.
Except for one, the one we like the best.
Yeah, so that's a good question. So yeah, I do like this ship because we did take the time to upgrade it a little bit, but in the end, maybe we want was it 70? Yeah, maybe we should take one of these nicer ships. So the Flying Dragon is a brig. This is kind of fun. This is cool. This is pretty. I don't know. Well, this has copper plating and bronze cannon. It's fine grain powder. Maybe we should go with the bark because I do like that they have copper plating and a bronze cannon.
The only thing is, I don't know if we if we sell the ships, how much we have in cargo that we should sell first.
Well, the merchant doesn't have any more money, so I think now might be a good time to cut and run with the plunder. Let's... How do I change my fleet? Flagship. Okay. Well, the Perla can hold the most crew.
I'm liking the Pearl. That was the
Yeah.
one that we were sent out to go hunt down.
Yeah. How do we... Can we do that here?
You can click on the flag.
Yeah.
Does that do anything?
No. Let me repair it and see if that will... Perla. And if not, maybe I'll sail away and come back. Because I know you can change it.
Silver Pill. So many questions, points brought up are valid things to mention or ask, but then are immediately followed with, teenage boys. I'm living for it.
Okay, so the Perla is now our flagship, so I will go back to... Oops. Florida Keys. There we go. Alright, now we have shipwright. Yeah, so I think you have a good point where we'll just like sell all of the ships and then divide the plunder, maybe?
Yeah, because we got a lot of ships.
Yeah. We'll start from the end. Goodbye, Revenge. You served us well. As a fire.
Angry Ostrich, as a former teenage boy, I had some. Me too. Me too. Not about me. Yeah.
No. No. Okay, so I think we're good. We'll divide the plunder. All right.
$783.
That's a lot. Continue. Yeah, we're not gonna retire. We're a journeyman. All right, so we'll play a little bit longer. I think we've this has been a really good intro to the world of Sid Meier's Pirates.
Can I ask, Kathleen, because I had it on the Xbox years and years and years ago, where did you get this from the computer? Is this on Steam?
This is on Steam. And it was not that expensive, so highly recommend. Yeah, anyone who wants to get into this, I think you can also get the even the older version of this on Steam as well if you wanted to. I chose not to, but that is an option. We can recruit people.
It's surprising. Like, if you were to play the older one, it is shocking how similar they are. Just this has so much better graphics.
Yeah. I know. I feel like after our time tonight, I might have to, play some of this on my... I gotta rescue my sister. I don't know if we'll get to rescue her today or take on, Blackbeard, but maybe off stream I will, and I'll fill you in. Looks like $10 on Steam. Yeah, this was a really good game to get. Henry Morgan, I see you.
Are we going after him? He's got 40 guns and 242 men. I don't think we stand a chance.
Can I save this? Where's like the save button? Maybe there isn't a... I'm doing the classic. We're just gonna do it. We're coming to the end of our stream.
What was it? Yo ho ho holo?
Yeah, yo ho holo. I kind of wish I hadn't sold everything.
Oh my gosh, look at that volley.
I'm so slow.
Oh no.
As long as I can board.
All right, going in.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
All right, I'm coming for you, Henry Morgan.
It's all down to you and your fencing skills.
I know. And our loaded game that we saved before. Chop. Get him.
The bucket thing, that's actually what one of the reasons why William Kidd got executed was for murder, because he had a sailor, his gunner, giving him a hard time, and he threw a bucket at him and killed him, hit him in the head. So it's interesting they kept that in. Boom! I think you just took over the ship.
I did it! And you doubted me. Yeah. Yeah, forget that they had 200 more people. You know, all I had to do was knock out Henry Morgan. We did it.
Maybe they were dissatisfied with him as captain, and so they were just looking for an
That's
excuse.
true. I'm a very good captain. Only 36 out of that 200. Yeah, that's fair. Welcome aboard, lads.
Where'd the rest of them go?
Look at all this plunder! Do you see this? That's thousands of gold!
We are going out on top.
I think we got a new flagship, right? We gotta take a ship for our own. Wow! We're rich. I also don't know the exchange rate. I don't know what this would be in today's money. If someone can look up 13,200 gold pieces in, let's say, US dollars. Does that work? Well, definitely keep her. Oh, he was the first most. We beat the first underdogs.
Sweet. We went right for the top.
Yeah. Yeah, take that, Blackbeard. Well, fleet status. I kind of want to... I know we have damage, but I think we have a new flagship. Okay, so I think... yeah, let's play a little bit more about... We
need some crew.
Yeah, we do. I was thinking... maybe I'll go to like a port town and we'll take on Blackbeard and then maybe we can end the stream. I'm not scared anymore.
Angry Ostrich, that should be enough for one luxury stuff.
It's true. Oh, my poor ship is trailing smoke. That was only enough to give me 8 fame? My goodness.
Going to the Bahamas, one of the pirate havens.
It is November 21st, 1661.
The motto of the Bahamas, after they tried to get rid of the pirates, was piracy expelled, commerce restored.
I like that.
It was on the crest of the Bahamas.
My dear captain.
You know you got a piracy problem when like that becomes your flag afterward.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so the English are now at war with the Spanish and the Dutch. I wonder what happened that it's not just the Spanish anymore. Yes, I did defeat Henry Morgan. I'm just a major. Okay. No daughter. That's all right. Man, we have so much gold. I don't even know what to do with myself. This is... this is like unbelievable. It's like I won the lottery. I won the pirate lottery.
Well, maybe we could try to go capture Blackbeard.
Yeah.
And have that be our last big hurrah.
Let's do that. Okay, yes, please join us. We need more men. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take that buried treasure map. This is not helpful at all, but I'll take it.
Jack Rackham had like maybe a couple 100 pounds to his name when he got captured. So I don't know how much treasure you're gonna find.
Yeah, can you tell us about Jack Rackham?
So he was Calico Jack. He was known for wearing very bright clothing. He was kind of reputed himself to be or carried himself as a gentleman. But a lot of what he captured were fishing vessels. So he had a lot of fishing tackle and little fishing vessels. And he's most famous because he had 2 crew members, Mary Reed and Anne Bonny, who were female pirates. And when they were captured, they were firing grape shot at the ship. So all of the crew ran below deck to hide.
Oh.
And Mary Reed stood at the top of the stairs, started firing her pistol into the bowels of the ship, calling all of her comrades cowards. And then they were all captured and executed. Well, not Mary Reed and Anne Bonny, because both of them claimed to be pregnant, and it turned out they were pregnant, and so their executions were commuted.
Can you tell us more about pirates who are women?
There weren't many. So you have over in the UK, you have oh my gosh. So it's getting late in the evening. Oh my goodness. Grace O'Malley, there's the name, came to me. Grace O'Malley, who kind of around Clue Bay operated, and then you had in the New World and Bonnie and Mary Reed. We have a bit of evidence that there were many more women, not a huge or substantial number, but what we do know is that any of the women who would have been in the Western Hemisphere on ships would have been cross-dressing.
Okay.
Mary Reed and Anne Bonny both grew up cross-dressing and passing as men. And Mary Reed actually had a stint in the Army, passing as a man. Once they were on the ships, they became a little more libertine once it was outed that they were female at one point, not early on. And so we have like newspaper reports that say that they would bare their chest at passing ships to prove that they were women. But it was pretty rare because the maritime world was a masculine world in the West.
Yeah.
In the East, in the South China Sea, we have the arguably the most successful pirate ever, Ching Shi, who was the widow of Cheng the First. Cheng the First picked her up in a brothel and married her. She tried to kill him, and he said that was why he fell in love with her.
Ah, I see.
And then when he died, she maneuvered to take over what was known as the Red Flag Fleet, which had tens of thousands of pirates in it and hundreds of junks or vessels.
Okay.
And when she was done, she was such a formidable force that she was able to negotiate with the Chinese emperor to receive, basically to receive land and get to retire, and actually negotiated legitimate employment for most of her crews rather, in the military. So she was fabulously successful. And in the East, it was a lot more common for women to be aboard vessels as children, as wives, in a way that it wasn't in the West. In the West, it was almost exclusively male.
What about pets? I haven't seen any parrots yet. Is that like a romanticization thing, or are pets common?
But it did happen. People did have weird pets aboard, monkeys, parrots, random animals that they found on the islands. The most common animal on a ship would be a rat.
Aw.
There were tons and tons and tons of rats
But would you
down in
make
the food
pet
supply.
rats, or would they not be pet rats?
I don't think you'd have a pet rat.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure just statistically, it's probable that there was at least one pirate with a pet rat, but
That's fair.
I wouldn't have had one.
Okay. Well, I think we're almost there. Okay, let's see if he's at home, and if he's not, that's okay. I'll get him next time. Rat friend, you would have been that one pirate. Oh, Blackbeard's at sea. Okay. Well, join us.
Yeah, exotic pet. I mean, they happened. I wouldn't say they were common, but exotic pets, like tropical birds, probably things like ferrets. I would imagine ferrets. No monkeys, things that you would pick up off of the islands, for sure. But not to the extent that Hollywood makes it, where virtually every pirate has a parrot on their shoulder.
What are some very uncommon, like, what was like the weirdest or strangest pet? Like, can you think of any like fun, like odd pets that people like pirates had?
No, not off the top of my head,
Snake
but I like
pirates.
Angry Ostrich as a snake pet.
Yeah. It's defense
just a
and
big boa constrictor. That would make an impression.
Yeah.
And I just thought it would cut down on the rat problem.
That's true. My best friend has snakes, and she does feed them, frozen rats. But yes, they do take care of rats. Well, Chris, where should we go for our last hurrah before we end stream? So Blackbeard is out at sea. We don't know where he is. We could go to San Juan. Maybe Baron Raimondo is there. We could stop there.
Sure. Let's
Okay.
stop there and see if we can get some info on our sister.
Wait, is that Blackbeard? Wait, who is
Is that
this?
him up there? That might be him.
Black
He's going back to port.
Blackbeard, come
It
back!
is him.
Come back! Where are you going? Oh, he's zoom. Oh my gosh, do you see that? Just zoom. Blackbeard.
We've got a bigger ship than him.
We do. All right. Wait, that's not him. Gotta attack. Can I?
The top one is him. I think they named his ship the Adventure Prize.
194. That's nothing. All right. We don't have to go to San Juan. We'll end our stream by.
I'm a pirate, an anachronistic pirate against an anachronistic. Actually, the ship we're on is his ship, Queen Anne's Revenge.
Oh, that's fitting then. Okay.
And then Henry Morgan is actually two this time. He's not.
I'm ready. Arr.
I'm with Destroy John this time. You got this. I don't want to doubt you.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, what, 18, 19? He looks like he's in his, Actually, I don't know how old he looks. I don't want to offend you, Chris, if you're older than me.
Oh, ouch.
I'll say he looks like he's in his 50s. I know you're not 50.
Oh, you got him again with the same trick.
I got you.
Giant crate.
Aha! Oh, look at all this gold! All right, we can just retire.
Gotta end by dividing the plunder.
Okay, let's do that.
think.
All right, we'll do it. Come here, Blackbeard. It's time. Yeah. I want to know what rank pirate I am now. This is so satisfying. It is funny seeing how he had only food and 2 tons of spice, and that's it. But lots of guns, so we'll take everything. He was the first. Again, I guess after we took down.
If you're the first, we're coming for you. Apparently.
Yeah. Actually, where's like the pirate rating? Is there top 10 pirates? We're number 5. Okay. Captain Kidd is now. Do you recognize all these names?
Yep.
Minus us.
So Captain Kidd was the one I was mentioning earlier. Pirate hunter, privateer turned pirate because of politics. Jean Lafitte actually helped us win or maintain New Orleans during the War of 1812. He was a slave smuggler who worked with John Bowie of Bowie knife fame, who used to smuggle slaves from Galveston, Texas into Louisiana and resell them after the slave trade was abolished. Stede Bonnet was a kind of gentleman who decided to go a pirating and was not particularly successful at it because he didn't know what he was doing. Francois Delaunay was the one I was mentioning earlier. Francois, the guy from Alone, he was famous because he hated the Spanish so much he was reputed to, Indiana Jones style, have ripped a Spaniard's heart out while he was still alive and ate it in front of him.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's us. So I think we're in good company. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm scared of this heart ripping guy. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think my character can do that, but he's only number 4, so I believe. What about Rock Bart? Well, we already talked about Jack, but Rock Brasiliano.
I don't recognize the Rock Brasiliano. I was assuming he's an Italian pirate, but I'm not sure. That's the only one I don't recognize. Black Bart or Bart Roberts is famous for his pirate's code. He's the one who, many pirates had codes of conduct on the ship, and he's one of the most famous. Okay. Jack Rackham we talked about earlier, and then Henry Morgan and Blackbeard we talked about.
Yeah, look at these like horrible pirates, number 9 and 10. Okay, we'll divide our plunder, and then we can end stream. Where's the nearest town? We'll go to Tortuga.
He was a Dutch pirate, despite the name.
Yeah. We haven't seen many Dutch people in these waters so far. Seems to be mostly like French, English, and Spanish. Yeah, French.
And apparently he was notoriously cruel.
Hmm.
He would get drunken and debauched and shoot anybody who refused to drink with him.
That doesn't sound like a good combination, being drunk with guns. War with the Greedy
No.
Dutch. Yes, we did. We did defeat the notorious pirate Blackbeard. Oh, we are now a colonel. Great.
Oh, look at our clothes are getting fancier too.
Yeah. Attractive daughter. Okay, I know we have to do this dance. I know it's gonna prolong stream, but we gotta. I'm probably gonna dance very badly, but we gotta do this. I can't turn down a dance. Okay. Oh, I don't have to turn. I don't have to do the fancy turn. Yes. So, what other classes are you teaching this year or this upcoming year? Ooh.
This semester, I am teaching the history of disasters from a cultural perspective.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm also teaching the graduate course on historiography, or how we write history, how do we debate about history, how do we craft historical arguments, how do historians agree, disagree, and look at things from a variety of perspectives. And then next semester, I'm teaching my pirates class, the pirates basically from the 1500s to now, from the high seas to cyberspace.
Okay.
And that's it, because I have a course release because I'm also the graduate director for the history department. So if any of you want to apply to become historians, I'm going to put out a plug. Send me an email. You can find my details on UNR's website and apply. We have an MA program for people who want to explore the master's degree option. We also have a master's of arts in teaching if you want to go into teaching. And then we, of course, have our PhD program if you want to become Dr. One Luxury.
I love that.
But yeah, we specialize mostly in environmental history, American history, cultural history, digital history using computers, both to make kind of artifacts for public consumption, like websites and games and things like that, museum exhibits. And then we also focus on Caribbean history, and we have a lot of different things that we could support if you wanted to explore a PhD.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all of that. I'm gonna plug your guest so you can learn more about him. Here's his bio. You know, I think we gotta.
I think I might take the cake. A chainsaw store next to a liquor store, in terms of the,
Yeah.
Muskets and liquor of Rocky Brasiliano fame.
That is a wild combo indeed. I'm gonna take this puffy fencing shirt. I'll take it.
All right, Jerry Seinfeld.
We did it. We had a good dance. We'll divide our plunder. Okay,
Wow.
Sounds good.
With great anticipation this time.
Yeah. Oh, actually, let's sell our stuff first. So let's offload. Well, actually, no, it wasn't really that much to sell. All right. Sounds good. Advance to adventurer, Captain. Hi, K-Knight. Welcome in. We're ending our stream soon, but you've caught us just as we are now the #5 best pirate in the world. We took down Blackbeard and Henry Morgan. Very proud of us. How are we doing? We're very happy. We're 21. It's now legal for us to drink in the US.
We're now an old pirate.
We are old. What is the oldest pirate you know of, Chris?
Oh my gosh. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure.
That's okay. Maybe like 30.
Yeah, 30s or 40s.
All right, I'm gonna save this. And yeah, we'll end our game for now. But man, I wanna get #1 pirate now. I gotta do it and rescue my family at the same time. Okay, we're gonna.
Which order though?
That's a tough one.
Oh,
I can do both. Yeah, maybe my family that they can wait. I'm sure they're fine. Well,
yeah. #1 pirate first.
Yeah, we'll be next time. We'll get Captain Kidd. You're #1 in my heart. Thank you. All right, so thank you again, everyone, for hanging out with me and Chris Knight while we played Sid Meier's Pirates. I had a great time. I hope you did too. I learned so much. Um, I hope we can stream again soon, whether, we continue playing this or if we do a different game. I think it'd be fun to do one that maybe connects to your research interests about, digital piracy next time potentially. I think that could be fun. I know you had some ideas for games, so that could be, the next sort of route we go down together. Before we leave, I just wanted to plug. So next Tuesday, let me make sure I have this right. Yes, it's on the 22nd at 12 p.m. We are continuing our playthrough of Season A Letter to the Future with Dr. Josh Webster from Great Basin College. So if you guys have been watching those, I think we're pretty close to the end of the game. So I'm pretty excited to see where, if we finish it next Tuesday or if we'll just finish it in the stream after that. But after that, I am looking forward to the next game we play together. And then a week from today, August 24th, we're going to actually have a special stream of a zine making workshop. This is technically connected to our Nevada Reads program, which is our statewide reading program. And this year, one of the novels that we're featuring is called Thistlefoot by author Jenna Rose Nethercott. So, Emily Wershing, who is a librarian and a poet in southern Las Vegas in Nevada, is going to lead this workshop that teaches us how to create these zines and connect them to our personal history and folklore. Super excited. And then we're going to be actually streaming with Jenna Rose, so the author of this book. We're going to be streaming with her in a second week of September. The novel is it's basically loosed on the folk's tale of Baba Yaga. So I think there are some great video games out there that have to do with like Russian and Slavic folklore, and I'm super excited to stream with her. But yeah, Chris, thank you again so much for being with us tonight. I know it's
Thank
late
you
for
so much
you.
for having me. This was a blast, and if I get to come back, that'd be awesome. Thank you, everybody in the comments, for all of your thoughtful questions and comments and fantastic on-point jokes tonight.
Yes, there are a lot of great jokes. Yeah, yo ho holo. You gotta keep that now.
I know, that's a good one.
Okay, we're gonna go to the goodbye stream or the goodbye scene, but thank you again so much, everyone. Hope to see you next time, and thank you again to Melissa who rated us and all the raters who came in. We really appreciate you. All right, have a good night, everyone.